Hello, and welcome to This Is Going to Sound Weird. I'm Dana Louise. Welcome, welcome. I'm going to get right down to it. A long time ago, about 25 years ago, I went to a seminar with a girlfriend of mine, and it was like a healing seminar. It was the whole weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The guy had advertised in like the Edge magazine and on WCCO, which is a radio program here in the Twin Cities. And so there was a lot of people at this seminar. He had a really good turnout. Now the room is big. It was in like, a major hotel, kind of a banquet hall, seminar hall, bigger one. And there had to be, I don't know how many, 8 to 10 rows deep. I'd say maybe 8 to 10 rows deep. And I don't know how many people wide, probably 20 people across. Yeah, that seems about right. Now, not every seat was full, but there was a lot of people there, okay? And it's Sunday. It's at the end, getting ready to leave kind of in a couple hours. And, like I said, it was a healing, teaching about healing and energy and all this kind of stuff. And the guy, unbeknownst to us, just looks at the person to his left, first person in the first row, and says, "Look into my eye." And it's like, what? And I'm sitting back there with my friend. I wrote about this in the book. I called it Seminal Seminar. He's like, "Look into my eye." And I didn't see it at first. And then he goes to the next person. I think that's when my friend picked up on it. Look into my eye. And they're looking at each other. And then there starts to be this rumbling in the crowd, And I'm like, I don't know, because that's me. Everywhere I go. You might think, like, please don't think like I'm some, like I see everything and everything. I don't. Kind of benighted. Aren't we all? But I mean, like, yeah. So she starts to see it, and I don't. I'm like, what? And she's like, did you see that? Did you see that? I'm like, no. He shifted. He shape shifted or something. Like, I don't even know. So he goes on to the next person. I don't know if we're on person number 3 or 4 because I've been talking to my friend, and we're in the back. I think we were in the last row, and I think there's like 1 or 2 people before me, like from the end of the chairs, and then my friend, and maybe 1 or 2 people after that, but that's it. And she's like, ah. So then there's the next person, and now I'm clicking, and he's like, look into my eye, and all of a sudden I see him literally shape shift. Who he is and how he is shifts. It's not him anymore. And if you go to I've just recorded some exercises that are at the end of my book. And I wasn't even going to do any energy exercises, but I ended up putting them in there for you for free. After I sat in all these seminars and I paid money, but I'm gifting them to you because this is a prison break, and I'm a system buster, and I want you to do this. If I charged you money, you'd probably pay more attention. If I said, oh, it's $100, then you'd really care about it, but because it's free, maybe not so much, right? We don't value those things. But anyway, so I just dropped my mouse. Not a real one. Yeah, I'm sitting here with a gerbil. Anyway, okay. So then, he's going around to all these people. Look at my blah, blah. And he's shape shifting in front of all of us. So all the muggles are like, oh, like, what are we going to do? Oh my God, this is not normal. Danger, danger, Will Robinson. Oh, what are we going to do now? My dichotomy is being busted wide open right in front of me, right? Like, oh, can't take it. Surprised nobody ran out of the room. Okay, so boopity boop, 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 boop. He's going along, and it's cool. It's cool because one minute he's like, Civil War soldier or something like that. Well, no, that quite didn't happen yet, but he's shapeshifting. Now they get to me. Well, I'm going to tell you, people, all I can think is that all of my time with all of the aliens that have showed up and messed around, with me and my energy systems and all that kind of stuff, I have some weird stuff that goes on with me. I have some weird gifts, and I probably have weird gifts I don't even know about. I'm just going to say that. And what just happened, in what I'm going to tell you about, I didn't make it into some kind of like a seminar myself because I could be going around going, I'm Dana. This is what we can do. Okay, so let me tell you. The guy comes to me and I'm staring at him and I'm like, I'm a golden retriever, basically. I'm like, whatever. And I'm staring at him, staring into my eye. Dude, I can't see your eye. You're more than 30, 40 feet away from me. I'm like, you're a good stretch away. I don't know spaces, but he's far away. I can't even basically see his face because I'm like that myopic. And I'm trying to see, look at my eye. And so I'm looking, and all of a sudden, like literally I was saying before, all of a sudden it's like he shapeshifts and he's like a soldier with a gun, or he's some little old lady, so he'd be short and overweight or extra skinny. He's a man, he's a woman, he's young, he's old, he's all these kinds of things. And it's just kind of like going, whatever picture, and then it changes. Whatever picture, and it changes. But he's literally changing in height and shape, and then it's solid and it's great. It's fantastic. But all of a sudden, the whole room expands like a holodeck. We're all flipping there, wherever there was. So let's just say he basically was some mountain man in the mountains. We were in the mountains. We could see the mountains. And then he's in a log cabin somewhere. And he's some, old lady and he's short, whatever. And we're in the cabin. The room is gone. The cabin is where we are at. And this went on for quite some time, to the point of where, and I can't tell you how many shape-shifting things it was, but it, like each character, was there for good minutes so that we could look at it and you'd be like, and then he, kind of like, what was that? Cinderella, like, yeah, he'd be something else. And the whole room would change. And we're all like, what the? And I find myself, we were on these folding chairs or whatever. I'm literally now not sitting. I'm kind of standing like a gargoyle on the chair. Like, my feet are on there and I'm hunched down and I'm like hanging onto it like, what's he say? What is the gargoyle? Whatever. Remember Quasimodo? Yeah, and the gargoyles? I don't know what they said. They probably had a catchphrase. And I'm like sitting there, and I'm literally like, because half of me is like, this is fantastic. What the F is this? And the other half of me is like, this is so much energy. And the other half of me is like, oh, snap. And then I couldn't take it anymore. And so I stopped. But this went on for quite some time. And I stopped and I was like, literally I had to like breathe. And the whole room, basically, I don't know if you know any Norwegians, but they stare, not snare. So it's kind of like, here's what I saw. Like, people staring at me, like turning in their chairs. What did I do? I didn't do anything. I didn't know. And he's pissed. He's pissed at me. I didn't ask for it. I didn't know about it, whatever. And I couldn't control it. I don't know. And then he goes on to my friend and then like one or two other people. But at this point, it's like non-climactic. It's like, and he's not happy, and then we kind of do kind of a wrap-up thing. Like we all kind of got up and held hands in a big circle and sent energy around in the circle. But my girlfriend says to me, look at him. I'm like, what? Like, no, I really don't want to look at him. because I know he's mad. Look at him. And I looked at him and she's like, that's not him anymore. And I'm like, oh, shit. Yeah, he was like an Asian medicine guy. Like, isn't there somebody like the Golden Ray or something, like one of these masters, like the Fu Manchu and the robe and the hat? Like super cool, like from the year 10. I don't know, whatever, long time ago. Super cool. Yeah, so he had transformed and it was permanent and he was walking around like that. And we're like, okay, bye. And he won't talk to me. So I go to the back of the room and I'm trying to talk to his staff, and half of them are like, like get away from me. Like, what did I do? It's kind of my whole life, right? Jesus. And one woman, I think, she was from the Twin Cities, and I think she was having pity on me because she can see my frustration and angst and questioning, and I'm, whatever. And so she's like, here's my number or whatever. And I call her a couple days later. She gives me this guy's number because I'm like, I'd like to talk to him a little bit more about that. And, she's thinking, she's ecumenical and, it's all good. Blah, blah, blah. So I call him up a couple days later. And I'm like, hi, I'm Dana. And he's, I know who you are. Or I know who you are. I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm like, well, what was that about? And he wouldn't say it. He wouldn't say anything. And I'm like, oh, were you mad at me? And he's like, yeah. And the discussion basically went nowhere. Okay. And as my girlfriend said, she was kind of like, why would you teach this at the end of the seminar? Why wouldn't you teach this at the beginning? Because that was pretty cool. But the thing is, he wasn't teaching anything about it. He just showed it to us. So her explanation is like, okay, then it's a parlor trick, right? Yeah, it's basically a parlor trick because you're not teaching, you're not being responsible with what this is, and you're a teacher. We're at a seminar. So 10 years go by, and I'm like, what, WT, what was that? I want to know. Inquiring minds, and I still had his phone number. Yep. So I called him up and I'm like, hi, I'm Dana from the Twin Cities. And he's like, I know who you are. Yeah. Like, okay. And he literally won't talk to me. And I'm like, you were mad. And he's like, yeah, la, la, la. And I'm like, what was that about? And he won't tell me again. And then I'm like, he's like, but if you want to learn more, listen to this. If you want to learn more, oh, first of all, he's never coming back to the Twin Cities, and he's stuck with that one. He was never coming back because of me. Seriously? Like, what did I do? Wow. I stunk up the whole state? Wow, I didn't know I had that power. Whatever. So he's in like Arizona or something like that. He's, by the reptiles. And oh, you can come to my seminar. And I'm like, well, I don't have much money. I can't really afford your full seminar, and I can't, the hotel and the flight and the car. I mean, this is going to cost a lot of money. And then I got smart because my little voice said, yeah, ask him. And I'm like, so here's the trick, people. Will you be teaching more about the hologram thing? You know what his answer was? No. Well, then why the F would I want to come to your seminar if you're not going to teach about it? Hmm. And then I went to this other thing. Like, there's this psychic guy, and he's really kind of pretty famous around the country or the world or something like that. Charges a lot of money, like $1,000, $2,000 for his psychic abilities and blah, 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 which is great. Good for him. But I went to his class, and I'm like, hey, because I'm like, this dude will know, right? He's worldwide. He's going to know. So I went up to him like, hey, like everybody was like doing their little work, it's kind of like, oh, we're working with Play-Doh, whatever. It was a psychic thing. But anyway, I'm like, hey, I went to this seminar and this guy did this thing because that's how I talk. And he's like, well, I don't know because I wasn't there. Like, piss off. And I was like, oh, okay, you know, but it was a whole week thing. And sure enough, later on down the week, dude does the same thing. So this guy says, oh, he doesn't know. But a couple days later, he's like, oh, everybody come sit on the floor. So now he looks like a kindergarten teacher because he's kind of sitting on a chair and we're all kind of sitting on the floor and the room is dark or something, like we're going to have a slide presentation or whatever. And he starts to do it, but it's dark. See, the other guy did it in full light, right? This guy had to make it dark and he's sitting there. And all he could do is basically, there's got to be something with the Fu Manchu thing because he basically had a gown and stuff like that. And he kind of looked like an Asian medicine man again. And so the man himself, he was sitting like this the whole time. But the overlay, the hologram, the Asian medicine man was going around the room like this. What do you think of that? Isn't that crazy? Okay, great. To me, it was a little lackluster, just to be fair, that's kind of how I felt. But I mean, like, hey, the guy's doing it. This is great. Yay. Because he's going to talk about it, right? We're going to have a chance to explore it, figure it out, all these kinds of things. This is great. It's a psychic event, psychic class. Yay. So we all go back to our seats, and the lights come back on. And I got my hand. Me, pick me, pick me. I want to talk about it. Won't pick me. Won't pick me. Won't pick me, won't pick me. Everybody's got these questions and stuff like that. Won't pick me. And nobody's really asking about what just happened. What? They aren't. I don't know. It's almost as if he put a spell on them. No one's asking the question. And and finally, the woman next to me, which was hilarious, she raises her hand and he's like, Dorothy. And she's like, she has a question. Excuse me. Yeah. I'm like, thank you. And he won't talk to me. Won't answer my question. Won't call on me. And so again, I'm like, why show this? And then you don't talk about it. So in conclusion, class, it's been, well, that class I think I took about 10 years ago or something like that. Coming out of the cosmic closet after having written my book, I've been, now I can open myself up to look at other videos and things like that, because I didn't do that for the longest time, because I want to keep myself as clean as possible with my memories. I don't want other things coming into my head and implanting themselves and changing things, and you know what I mean? Maybe you don't, but that's what I was trying to do. And the only thing I can come to conclusion is that it's about the holographic world, and that aliens deal with frequency, and they deal with shape-shifting, and they deal with telepathy. So I think it had something to do with that, which is also why I was able to naturally just pick up on it and stuff like that. It had to be the thing that I do with when I'm out there at night working for the shadow government, running their programs and all that kind of stuff. So I think being the worker bee that I was on that etheric level, that's where I picked that stuff up, unbeknownst to myself, in a way. You'd have to read the book. But so anyway, that's just kind of my story of a holodeck. And it's kind of like, wow, if we can do that and create a room that just drops away, what else are we capable of? But so I'm going to say this is also the same basic technique that for me, because I've kind of met some of them, I think this is the think thought thing, that how they space travel and how they control their spaceships. It's through thought. Hey, people, thought, word, and deed. Everybody else is a divine being out there. Everybody else is using their thought, word, and deed. But here, us on this planet, this 3D dense planet Earth, we've been gaslit, and we don't know about our divinity, and we're not so capable of using it. Many people believe, oh my God, it must be evil if you do. And that is not true, because if you follow Jesus or something like that, he said, as I do, you can do also. So I believe that this is how other entities work, live, do things, is through this modality. And because I've been exposed to them for so long, I'm able to click on it and pick it up and all that kind of stuff. So is there healing in there? No, I don't think so. But is it a key to how the rest of this galaxy works? Oh, 100%. 100%. So anyway, that's my little story, and it's in my book, and I've got like 40 chapters of that stuff. So I hope you enjoyed it. I'll let you go. Thank you so much for your time and attention. And please leave a comment below, because it's going to be on YouTube or something like that. I think you can leave comments other than about my forehead or my hair, because I know I'm trying. I'm trying. Anyway, all right, you take care. Thank you so much. Gotta click on it.